Hi, welcome to this first session of the Open Security Summit online event in September 2021. And this session is mainly a session actually focused on the actual Open Security Summit around a new thing that we're doing called OSS Projects. So what I'm going to be doing on this session is explaining a bit the idea behind it, structure, what we're doing, raising a bunch of sort of topics and questions and things that we can do, and then have some collaboration on some participants, but also hopefully kickstart the conversation and the next steps. So just in a nutshell, right? The summit, over the years, and I was kind of looking at the on-site online events that we've been having, right, for the last the year, where we've done lots of mini summits online with all these materials, and basically where we actually have lots of great sessions and really amazing content being produced, right? Where one thing that's quite interesting from the online sessions we've done from some of the previous summits is that we actually now have a really amazing YouTube channel that has basically all the videos from all the different sessions, right? And there's some amazing sessions, some really insanely historical ones and great content. And the idea of the projects is to capture this, in addition to, for example, all the content that we've done from the 2018, right? So if you look at this, right, we've created a whole bunch of outcomes, which I'm pretty sure very few people have any, they've seen this, it's kind of get lost. But if you look at this, we have really very cool structure, presentations, materials, right? All sorts of things, right? That we have here, and it's kind of lost, right? In all of this, right? So this is the 2018, we have the 2019, again, same things. Now look at amazing content, amazing materials. Now, a lot of these until the 2020, we don't have videos, but we do have materials created from it, right? But we also have some of these outcomes that, again, we should be capturing, and we should be basically putting together and basically, helping whoever wants to consume this. And of course, there's also amazing people, amazing collaborators that shared, and it's always going to be good to give credit and to expose that. So what's interesting from the 2020s, because the COVID forced us to do an on-site event, this was the one that we actually have videos, right, for most of them, right? So in an interesting way, the online event actually gave us the ability to record just about properly every single session, where we now have quite a nice big list of videos, right? So if you look at this, right, this is amazing content, right, that at the moment is kind of lost here, right? So you could see there are these incredible videos that their content, etc., that at the moment they kind of are lost in our channel. Some people might find it, some people might go and link it from the main thing, but it's very hard to find the right thing, right? So kind of the idea of the summit projects is to consolidate that into the themes that we've done before, and then really, capture, for example, if we go ASVS user stories, capture the videos, put them in a place where it's easy to find, easy to see. So here's the video for that, right? And and then to capture the information, to capture the project sessions, and again, some of these sessions might have other materials, right? And then information, so you can see. So basically, the idea is to, in one place, to capture the projects that we do, and also now we also allowing we got a new membership and corporate membership model, which is also allows these projects to be sponsored, which again allows us to put more resources into helping to manage them. So hopefully creates a nice feedback loop on this, right? So this is again the first very rough design. What the idea here was just to do something where we go, hey, there's a title, there's a description, there's a kind of an area for videos, there's a project session, and then the sponsorship and members. But this is all up for grabs, right? This is all up to be modified and to be expanded. And And we're really looking for, the community, the teams that is involved in this to really take ownership of this and to kind of really sort of take this to the next level. Like if you look at DevSecOps, it's pretty spectacular. Like look at how many amazing sessions we had covering all sorts of things. Oh, actually, I think this is for you. Like, oh, Michael, that's yours, right? Using VPC flows to monitor the traffic.
Yeah,
right?
that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to find the video. See, but you see, this is the other thing that I feel that it fall a bit to the cracks, where we need to make sure that, again, Alana, this is something that, again, Adam, I want you guys to also help too, which is make sure that every session that exists, as we have the video mapped to the right place, we credit the right person, we start to create this body of material that becomes very easy to consume. Right. So that I think is a big piece of work that we want to do between now. So the next summit is in 2 months from now. So we'll do the next one in November. Right. And really, like, let's take to the project to the next level, right? Where we really map out the stuff that we do, the sessions that we have, the content that we have, the people that have been involved in it. Right. And then we of course, there's a bunch of OSS projects that we've been involved with. Right. So the idea is exactly sort of, to take this, Gaggle risk and governance, but like this has not been mapped. But if you go to YouTube and we search for risk, we'll find, quite a number of good, really amazing sessions, right, on this. And that's fundamentally, that's what's all about, right? It's all about, taking this governance to the next level and really allow to leverage and to expose the content that we have that at the moment kind of gets lost. So threat modeling is another great example of, we have some of the best threat modeling sessions in the world, but again, how to find it. So we have beginners, we have mid-level, we even have, I think there's even more than they are here. We have some great content that we've created. Actually, in the last summits, there was some really, really powerful content that we created around threat modeling. Like here, look at threat modeling, lessons learned, cookbook project, maturity model, data schema. So all of these, right, would be really good to have it linked from here, right? And that's, in a nutshell, what it is. It's about creating a space that we can really allow each of these topics. And this is just the first batch of topics that I kind of went to sort of boys to call tracks and put it together. But the idea is that let's really create a space to collaborate, a space to share more information, a space to create materials, and also a space that every time we have a session, we can amplify the contents of that session and then hit that community with it. Cool. And by the way, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to chip in, right? So the way this is managed at the moment is each of these, and that was kind of the idea. So actually, there's a link here that I think is already open for it. But if you go to the summit and the content, right, we have now a new section called projects, right? So this area, you can see that this here, right, matches one-to-one with this bit here, right? So you can see they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you go here, you're going to have one. You got 10 of these, right? So for each one, the idea is to create an environment where each project owns this space. So we allow the project organizers, the active members, basically to send pull requests, to send content, and eventually, I think some of these will kind of evolve to have their own. In fact, this is a good example where this already has that, which is pretty amazing, right? In fact, if you look at this is pretty freaking cool, right? So all this content, right, that is here, we want to expose, right? We want to make sure people can find it easily, people can really sort of expand on it. And like, for example, here, there's things that are needed. So if you need help, like I should be able to go to here and I have a page to say, help needed, where to add, where to start, how to contribute, etc. It should be linked from here. And in this case, I should be finding all these contents where I should be finding in that page, right? So we can facilitate that environment. So the logic, if you go back again, if I go back to the page, so each each project has at least a section here, and then in the section there's a markdown page, and as with everything in the summit is all managed through here. So what you can do here is this is where you can put the description, which shows when you link to it and other bits, and then you can map the active members and the highlights, and then in this case the sponsor, right? And of course, remember that we can add whatever metadata we have here, right? This is again up for grabs, but it's a good example of again something that we can then really sort of allow the organizers to go to town and to add structure here and to improve, right? Because fundamentally, we take this and we create a structure like this. So you highlight videos, sponsored by, active members, project sessions. Actually, the project sections actually come from in this case, I think I use the track for now, but we need to map the projects. So that again is edited here, where you add, the track here. So I think at the moment I use the track when I build that page to do it, but eventually, or actually it might already be project, sorry. It's already correct, sorry. It's already mapped by here. So you already have a field for project, and the project determines where it shows up in what project. So that's basically the structure, right? The structure is we basically want to empower the organizers, when they empower the teams to come here, right? And SEMGREP, for example, add information, add links, add best practices, add all sorts of information, which then will appear in the main SEMGREP project page, which of course can link to other projects, other resources that they have. But if you look at SEMGREP, for example, we already have some pretty spectacular sessions, right? Which I actually think that even some of the guys that were presenting on SEMGREP were not fully aware of it. But we don't have a good place that we can just point to, right? Again, if you look at some of these sessions, we have really, really good SEMGREP sessions. And some of them are big, which I actually feel that we need to break it a bit, right? Actually, like here, we already break a couple simple ones, right? So you can see that there's a 2-hour one, right? 1 hour, etc. So this is really, really good stuff. So that's fundamentally it, right? The idea is to really, augment and the current content that we already have, and allow, a place where the project organizers can come and expand, right? And modeling, yeah, it's a great example. Cool. Any questions or comments? All right, then I think we can keep it at a reasonably short session. What I want to do here is just to also create this video and record and have something that we can share with the community. And basically what we need to do over the next couple of months is really to populate all of this, get all the content into this structure, and then really think about what we want to do with the projects. A bunch of other ideas, like we could have FAQs, we can have like I said, how to start, who's who, all sorts of PowerPoints, slides and videos and materials, etc. So this is just the beginning. Looks a bit rough, but I think it's how it starts.
Hey, Dinis, quick question. What is the best approach, I would say, to start collaborating? Where to start to collaborate? How do you see, for example, if in my case I wanted to?
So what topic is okay? So what's the project? Is it thread modeling? Is it DevSecOps? AWS, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Azure, right?
All of them, right?
So you pick one that you like. Right? I think there's a great, nice piece of work, which is almost just helping to create what already exists, right? So like thinking about, for example, thread modeling, right? If you come to this page, right, like what do you want them to see, right? What's the highlight videos? How many video sections should we have? What materials can we put here? Because I think, for example, today, like even on thread modeling, there isn't a nice place, for example, that I can go to somebody and says, look, go here and just start reading stuff, start digesting, watch these videos, read these documents, right? I don't think we have a good place, and this could be that.
Yeah, I see. Mm-hmm.
And if you look at some areas, right? We have some amazing content on AWS, and we have some great presentations on Azure, and I believe even on Google Cloud or others, right? And some of the topics, right? Those are really, really important topics. Like Zap, OWASP Zap. There's a bunch of sessions around it. There were sessions about using GitHub for a bunch of stuff. So we could create projects around it, right? Like we're not limited. We can create as many projects, as many areas as we want. The idea is to have somebody who cares about it, who maintains it, and basically drive traffic and see, content that is useful for the audience.
Yep. Fair enough.
And that's the place to start, right? And actually, the other thing that, so Alona and Adam are now part of the team. They can help with some of these. I also feel that, so for example, I think Michael is somebody that we should try to make as easy as possible to start to collaborate. Where we should be creating guides, for example, for how to start, how to edit the pages, almost like make it as easy as possible. Even, in some cases, even just Michael, you should be able to go to Slack and just throw a bunch of ideas and a bunch of comments, and then almost have somebody else who helps you to put that, because you might not have the time to edit the pages. So we can also use Slack, which again should be linked here, right? So I should be able to go from here directly to the crew and Slack, to the respective Slack channel that we have on the summit. And also there's sometimes great conversations that happen there. How do we capture? How do we leverage that, right? In fact, actually another idea would be like what's going on even in other events, right? So for example, like if there's an online conference on thread modeling tomorrow, it'd be really cool to link it here, right? If there is a bunch of thread modeling being presented at a particular conference, right? Or a great thread modeling content, we could be linking it here so that it becomes I want a place, even like for me, I want a place where I can go and get the latest on thread modeling. I want a place where I can go to my team and say, hey, keep an eye on this, because I want you guys to keep learning and keep evolving and seeing this content.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm.
So this is the idea, right? So cool. Look, I think that was kind of it, right? Keep it nice, short and sweet. So this is a video that we'll distribute to the rest of the team, and we share online, and then the rest of the sessions are. I want to do a couple of sessions later on, and in fact, we need to do eventually a session per project. But again, the idea is to think about what can we do with the project, what's the next steps, how do we evolve it, and then start working on it. So cool. I think we can.
Awesome.
You can stop recording, Alona. Is you the host?